Hello, how are you? Welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today, I'm showcasing one of my favourite builds I think I've ever had in my time playing this game. And I know everyone says that to hype the builds up, but this doesn't mean it's the best. It's because I love it. For two reasons. Number one, it's the most hunter loyal build, should we say, I've ever used, in the fact that this is prime hunter vanguard. And two, it has a little bit of everything, you know? But before we get stuck in and I showcase you this little beauty that I've cooked up, if you enjoy the video, dropping a like is always appreciated, and if you want more of this, consider subscribing. I'd love you to stick around. Let's dive into the build then. So, like I say, this build has a little bit of everything. It's not meta in the fact that it doesn't really synergize with the episode artifacts, but I did just pull 7 million damage on the final boss of Warlord's Ruin, so maybe it is meta? I don't know. It's a really good all-rounder though, in both crowd control, but definitely in DPS. Its focus in the damage phase are those two cherished words of any prime DPS phase: Golden Gun. I'll let this clip do the talking. But it's also versatile in that it can deal with any type of champions too. Overload, Unstoppable, Barrier, whatever. Let me walk you through the build. So here is a look at the build. I'm going to be respectful of your time, keep it nice and short. We're going to go through bit by bit, but we're going to make sure we blast through everything. So here is our weapons that we're going for. So we've got the new Stasis hand cannon, which is bold endings. Headstone, Dragonfly is the GOAT choice for this one. Headstone, it doesn't proc in the way you might think it does, but it does proc in a very great way. So when we're creating those crystal shatters with Headstone, if we then get a kill on the next one with Dragonfly, that will then blow up that original crystal. So it really is great for ad clear. Honestly, a very good choice in the primer slot. Still Hunt is a crucial part of the build. Reason being, Still Hunt actually synergizes with Celestial Nighthawk. So in the same way that Golden Gun fires a one high damage shot for the super, it does with the Still Hunt sniper rifle, meaning you can do some crazy damage in a very short window with your super and with Still Hunt, and it's very easy to get it straight back up to doing maximum damage as well. In the third slot, I've got Edge Transit, bait and switch. Again, we're going to go through a little bit of the loop after we've gone through the build, but bait and switch of an Edge Transit is very good alongside these two for doing huge damage in a small amount of time. Now, over to what mods we've got on. Like I say, Celestial Nighthawk is crucial to this part of the build. Very excited to see how this build can expand when we get that exotic class item. For now though, there's nothing better than this. In there, we've got Stasis Siphon and Heavy Ammo Scout. Reason being, Stasis, you can go two ways with this, right? If you're doing something like Overthrown where there's a lot of enemies, Stasis Siphon is going to be great for generating those orbs of power. Again, recharging our super. But also, Orbs of Power actually helps you charge up the Golden Gun shot in the Still Hunt. Option number 2 here is Dynamo, which reduces our super cooldown when using your class ability near targets. When we've got our mobility high, we're going to be reducing that super nice and easy. In our arms, we've got Stasis Loader, just because the reload speed on our Stasis hand cannon is very slow, and I had one slot left, so why not just throw a grenade distance in there. On our chest, I've got Solar Reserve, so that's just increasing the amount of sniper ammo that we got in there. And then two other ones being incoming solar damage, and then reducing flinching while aiming a solar weapon. When we got a sniper, we want to be able to aim as accurately as possible, hence solar aim. In our legs, we got Solar Surge. So what that means, when we're getting our orbs and we're getting those armor charges, the Solar Surge is going to mean that we do even more damage with that sniper shot. Again, really helpful for doing big DPS chunks. And then again, the final one being better already. Health begins to regenerate after picking up an orb of power. We're going to be regenerating a lot of those with our Stasis hand cannon. It's nice and simple. And All-Star Cloak. So in here we've got time dilation, meaning our armor charge is going for longer, which is what we really want. Powerful Attraction means that when using our class ability, we're getting all the orbs of power in the area. And then the final one being reducing our melee cooldown when using our class ability. Just quite helpful, as I love the little Stasis Shuriken Shard. Now, in terms of stats that you want, I went with mobility and resilience because obviously mobility is going to give us that class item back fast enough, which when I go into Prismatic you'll see why that's handy. And then intellect, because we want our super up as much as possible when we're trying to synergize these two together. Into Prismatic then, we've got Acrobat's Dodge. Now the reason we're going for this one to make us Radiant is A, to deal with champions. If we're Radiant and we're dealing with champions, we can shoot through a barrier champion shield, so therefore that's why we've gone for this one. Plus, when you're Radiant, your Golden Gun does even more damage, which is helpful. Triple Jump, easy. I like Withering Blade, it's my favourite out of all the melees. Magnetic Grenade, you can go for any of those, truth be told, I just like that one. So onto our two aspects, Stylish Executioner and Gunpowder Gamble. Both of them basically proc based upon the Darkness debuff. That's kind of why I go for Withering Blade, because if I get myself into a tricky situation, I can proc Stylish Executioner straight off a melee kill with the Withering Blade. But Gunpowder Gamble as well fills up so quickly when we're smashing those stasis crystals, because we're freezing and slowing those enemies down. You get your grenade. The uptime on this is crazy good. Onto the fragments. Freezing or suppressing a target reloads your equipped weapon. That's brilliant. That's what we want. Facet of Solitude, landing precision hits, emits a Severing Blast from the target. While Transcendent, the Severing Blast is bigger. We're hitting precision hits with that sniper all the time, so again, this is really, really good. Facet of Awakening, rapidly defeating targets with light or darkness damage. The reason I went for this was just to get my resilience up. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Resilience was 90, now it's 100. But again, it's not the worst thing in the world. Facet of Ruin increases the size and damage of the burst when you shatter a stasis crystal or frozen target. Plus 10 mobility as well, you can't go wrong with this, but with that stasis hand cannon, that's going to be proccing all the time. And then Facet of Devotion, defeating targets afflicted with stasis or strand debuffs gives you plus 10 strength and bonus light transcendence energy, which since we're going to be using our stasis hand cannon a lot, that's really helpful because we're not really going to be building up any light energy because we'll be firing our hand cannon most of the time. And then of course, your super is a Golden Gun Marksman. Let's go back to the gameplay and let me walk you through the actual loop of this build. So there's the build, but let's see some of it in motion and walk you through the loop of how to get the most out of it. So far I've used it in dungeons where I got 7 million damage like I said, Onslaught where I just melted every boss and tormentor, just so much ease, Nightfalls and Overthrown in the Pale Heart. The beauty of this build is its simplicity though. If we're talking pure damage, to get the most out of the DPS phase, what you want to do is dodge to make sure that you're Radiant, trigger your Sniper Golden Gun mode, then trigger your super, fire your Golden Gun Sniper, hit a few sniper shots, quickly switch to your primary, shoot, swap to Edge Transit, unload your mag and then get back to your sniper, hit the crit shots, charge you back up for another super shot and rinse and repeat. It's a ton of fun. The Stasis Hand Cannon, I wasn't sure about at first, but Dragonfly along with Headstone is an incredible ad clearer. Proccing Headstone on the first kill, but then the Dragonfly effect on a second kill shatters that first crystal that you spawned, so you slow in or freeze enemies all around you by proccing those two together. It's sick. Alongside that, you're generating orbs of power from rapid stasis kills, and then the build as a whole, it's just a ton of fun. It really, really is. Like I say, it's the variety of it. It's not context or situation dependent, and there's little bits of wiggle room here or there. Hand cannon for overload, dodge to make yourself Radiant to deal with barriers, and then use the stasis shatter to deal with unstoppables. It's got the lot. I'm excited to see it progress even more when that exotic class item arrives and see how I can develop this build even further. But there you have it. That is the build that is definitely going to be a favourite of mine and a staple of mine going forward, and I'm excited to see it expand. Let me know your thoughts on the build though. Anything that you tweak or change, whatever it is, let me know in the comments down below. These are just my suggestions and I'm just having fun with it. If the build was helpful, leaving a like helps me out the same way that I maybe helped you. And like I say, if you're looking for more Destiny 2, consider subscribing and maybe checking out some of the other Destiny 2 content on the channel, like my spoiler thoughts on the finale, or my personal journey with Destiny 2 so far. Other than that, I hope you have a terrific day, look after yourself, and I'll catch you in the next one.